Hallo miteinander, I'm Geshady6, and this is Toy Story. Last time we bravely fought against the Claw, but it was all in vain. Just like in the movie, Woody and Buzz did get caught by Sid in the end, and he takes them to his room. Now that place is really dark, really scary in the movie. Were they able to convey the same kind of feelings for the game? Well, in my opinion, they actually did. The next levels are gonna be very menacing for us. The next one is going to be a platforming level, very reminiscent of Stage 3, Ego Check. It's a very linear stage, and it is one of two stages in the game that has pits. Now, you might be remembering, pits in Toy Story aren't really all that bad. They only hurt you. They don't kill you outright. Well, guess what? This game breaks its own rules whenever it feels like it. The pits in this level are in fact instant death, so you always have to watch out, and it really is as hard as it may look. But you know what I find most fascinating about this level? There is a poster in the background. It's called Killin' Paul Bunyan and the Blue Ox of Doom. You know what? I would really like to see that action movie. I can kind of imagine what it would be like. Paul Bunyan would sweep whole forests in a mighty, never-ending storm of bullets. He would pile up the bodies of his enemies until new mountains are formed, and finally he would use their blood to fill up grenade craters and create new lakes. 10,000, in fact. Yes, that would be an amazing movie, wouldn't it? I think so. The most annoying thing about this level are these firecrackers. There's two kinds. There's these regular ones that constantly shoot out, but always only one at a time. And apart from that, there's also the Big Bang. Now this one shoots a whole barrage at you, but it waits a lot longer between shots. The shots of these things are completely random, and as you saw, that was my demise in that case. No matter, the extra life here respawned. It's a little bit risky to get, but kind of learning how to get it is worth it in my opinion. Getting past these fireballs really is not a big deal. You just look, you leap at the right moment, and you can even stay in between their gaps. Shouldn't be too hard to spot that with a keen eye. Really, the firecrackers are much more dangerous. Apart from what we've seen, there's also another hazard in that level. Another gimmick, I should say. And we're going to arrive at said gimmick in a few seconds. It's gonna be very surprising the first time it happens to you. Now you remember in the movie, Sid set Woody on fire with a magnifying glass. You know, I tried that before in real life. Didn't work. I'm not sure if that is like only a myth. Or maybe it's just not sunny enough over here. Now after this little scene, you lose control of Woody and he will keep running. You cannot duck, you cannot jump, and most of all, you cannot stop. After this little bit, I always backtrack to get the stars, because as I said, you can't get them on the first go. Now there is one thing that really disappointed me. They tried to emulate this scene from the movie, but they got it all wrong, totally botched it up. It was Fruit Loops, not cornflakes, in the bowl. My childhood has been ruined. No respect for the source material. It is infuriating. Right after that first one is another scene like that. This one is going to be much longer and also a lot more dangerous. The spiky yo-yos are a lot closer to each other. Now, this scene may seem pretty difficult for you at first, but as you can see, I'm using a little trick here, and I recommend you do the same. You can still turn around when you're on fire, so I recommend you constantly push left and right, only inching your way forward, regardless whether or not a yo-yo is on screen. That way you will have a lot longer time to react, and if you don't do that, the yo-yos will come in very quickly and it will be really hard to react. So that makes this scene pretty much a no-brainer, in my opinion. Now, we're gonna go back for some stars, but this one takes a long time, so let's just skip it. Seriously, you're not missing much. It's just 1.5 minutes of collecting stars without anything interesting happening. Alright, another level down. On to the next scene where Woody meets the dreadful mutant toys. Now, what Sid likes to do is he likes to tear apart his toys and sew back the different parts of different toys together. And thereby he creates horribly disfigured things, like the game appropriately calls them. And I really like the phrasing of that. Remember, kiddos, when someone is very different from everyone else, they're not considered living beings. Yeah, kind of like that, huh, game? Anyway, this level is the very last platforming stage in the game. It is also, to no surprise, the very hardest of those. There's a lot of things and enemies around to hurt you, and it is also a very open stage with many hidden stars in it. To get all of them, you've really gotta be thorough, take your time and look around in the level. However, you're going to see a difference in playstyle with me here, in that I suddenly start sucking. Well, I kind of do, but that's not what I'm really getting at. The thing is, the longer I stay in this level, the more I get hurt, the more lives I lose, and I really got the best results just trying to go for the end, not really caring about stars. The thing is, I don't really even need stars at this point anymore. I've almost got the second continue, so if I'm just losing lives to get stars, not worth it. Swinging is a lot of fun in this level, but you know what's not fun? Getting killed horribly like that. Well, that's one life less, but we still have 9 more. That's definitely enough to beat this game, isn't it? Well, maybe. You know what I think is the strangest thing about this level? These cans that are rolling around everywhere. I don't know what is throwing them. Maybe some invisible force. Or maybe they are just sentient cans. They are cans that like to whoop Woody's ass. You could say they are cans of whoop ass. And they are already open. Swinging up these sets of hooks is really a lot of fun. It's just a little playful thing that I'm glad that they included. It's not very hard, it's just something you can enjoy for a change. Down here is the first checkpoint. We were very close to it when we first died, but what can you do? Anyway, this level really shows that it's not worth attacking enemies all that much, because you have to duck down and whip to hit these spiders, and both of these actions have a noticeable delay, so really just jump over most of the things. That's safer and quicker. You know, I talked about stars before and how it's not worth getting them. You know what would be really impressive? An all-star run of Toy Story. Doing that would really be challenging, because there are stars in this game that are totally not worth picking up. Also, I try to get these 6 here, just because I think they're easy to miss, but I also prove a point like that, because I went out of my way, and what did I do? I get hurt. Like I said. But anyway, I think getting all the stars in Toy Story would be really something. I mean, there are stages where I don't even know how to get all of them, like Nightmare Buzz. But yeah, it would really be much harder than just surviving through the game. I'm not gonna do it though. Nope. We got the second checkpoint, and it's really good that we got this one, because the game will introduce a new gameplay gimmick. Something that involves Buzz. We're gonna find him in a second, and we're going to use his karate chop to fight the mutant toys. Yes, they are in fact in this level, even though we haven't seen them yet. And there he is. We have to hold off Legs and Rock Mobile from the front, and go fast enough to not be caught by Babyface in the back. Now this scene may look a little bit easy, but believe me, your hitbox and the hitbox of your attack are very weird. Your karate chop really doesn't feel very strong, it's more like a sissy slap. Watch out! Take that! Yeah, it's really not an easy scene, and I make it look easier than it is. Until you get the rhythm down, it's gonna feel very, very strange. I did unusually well on that last bit. I think that's the only time where I ever made it without getting hit there. But next level, next scene. Now we would be coming to a lot of emotional stuff in the movie. However, that is no fun in a video game, so we're just gonna skip right to where Buzz is captured and Woody befriends the mutant toys to save him. The only bit where we have a part in this is going to be the escape from the house on Roller Bob. And this level, I would say it is the second hardest level in the whole game, only exceeded by the very final one. As you will see, it is pretty much an expansion on Run Rex Run, but Run Rex Run in comparison to this is total child's play. There is a lot of stuff going on, and the most imposing thing is definitely Sid's dog Scud. Now he kind of takes the role of RC car, in that his purpose is just to drive you forward and restrict your movement. Once again, the safest position is probably the middle of the screen, where you can react to Scud and whatever comes in front of you. Now, there's a lot of stuff trying to kill you here. I have no idea where it's coming from. There is no one around but us. Maybe it was Woody's destiny to die during the last stage, but he somehow didn't, so now Death himself is angry at him. That would be a good explanation. Would also make for a pretty good movie plot, wouldn't you agree? We've reached the first checkpoint, and the middle portion of this level is the hardest. There is a certain technique that the game requires you to learn for this whole part, and I like to call it half jumping. You have to lightly tap the jump button to get in between two obstacles. Usually that is a can on the bottom and a firecracker on the top. And here you just saw how I spectacularly messed up the half jump. Yeah, it's not easy and I'm no good at it. You might have noticed something else. My lives just went down by 2. I had a very abysmal try after that one, and I just decided to edit it out, because nothing at all was achieved. I like to say I just had a bad run with this level, but I would be lying. I am no good at Roller Bob, seriously. Don't think I didn't try practicing this. I did, but this was the best that I could do. Okay, we just made it to the second checkpoint, and I would say that the middle portion of this level is by far the toughest. The last bit may seem very dangerous, but it is actually so short that it doesn't matter all that much if you get hit or not. Somehow I always found that I would get to the end of this, even if it would look and feel very sloppy to me. With all this said, we're pretty much at the end of this wretched level, and the end of this video. And here it stops. I'm Gish86, this was Toy Story, and next time, the grand finale. Will Woody and Buzz make it back to Andy, or will he fall into a lifelong depression over the loss of his toys? Bis bald!